Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. This is pure satire. This is humor. If you don't like humor, if you don't like satire, I recommend you leave. Because we talk about some hard stuff, so difficult to get and understand. Boy, I tell you what, folks, facts, truth, opinion, it's not allowed anymore in America. They want to destroy us. They want to silence us. They want to fight. Well, they do. That's all they want is fight. But what's interesting is they won't allow us to fight. No, they won't, will they? Well, who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about them, right? They Live. Have you seen the movie They Live? Great movie. It's a John Carpenter film. Stars Roddy Piper and Keith David. There's two bumbling ding-dongs that discover they're being controlled and manipulated by very rich people who are just here to make some money. And these people use their underlings to fight for them. That's what we have, folks. In this world, we have very rich people. And they're very much interested in fighting. But guess what? They won't do the fighting themselves. Nope. They have others do it for them. So they have their most disposable ding-dongs do their fighting. And right now, it is a bunch of people who are absolute rejects, who should, by all rights, if they had a sense of decency about them, just go hide and stay hidden. But they want to fight. They've been convinced that they need to fight. Folks, they were so riled up, we didn't even know it. You and I, we had no idea that all of these ding-dongs out here were itching for a fight. We thought that they were a bunch of nice people. We were told they're so sweet and sensitive, and they're kind of like, kind of like women in a way. Hardly. They are a bunch of violent psychopaths, and they want to fight. Being correct or being right, if you will, on any subject matter, a discussion point, a debate, an argument, being correct or having the facts on your side does not matter. This is about them fighting us. This is about fighting us. The fight isn't done. It's not over. They're not close to being finished. They have just begun to do what they want to do. You see, they don't really want to win and to be accepted. They want to destroy everyone else. You see, to socialists and communists and fascists, peace is the absence of an enemy, not the submission of someone else to their will. So if we just gave in to the LGBT crowd, they'll just demand more and demand more and demand more until you start resisting them. Then they start fighting again. That is what they're about. That is all they are about. Right? They're insatiable perverts. And so their shall we say, definition of winning is not the same as you and me. You see, my definition of winning would be, hey, I'm being left in peace. I'm able to live my life and be left alone and enjoy my life and the fruits of my labor. To me, that's a victory. To them, they don't want to be left alone to enjoy their fruitcake lives. No one's bothering them, and they're still pissed off and still angry and still trying to change the world. Right? And they want to fight everyone. So the moment they got some resistance, what happened? Well, they started threatening us. Literally threatening us. Then they started getting angry and violent. And now they are murderous. They aren't just banging down the clubs of their door, or the doors of their clubs trying to get in so they can party. No. They're trying to bang down the doors of the Supreme Court, of state legislatures, In Montana, they're doing it, folks, right now. Montana. Right? Big sky country, Montana. I used to think of Montana as a place where men were men and sheep were nervous. A place that's, very, very, very rural. And it is. But no, it's also the land of nuts and fruits. As much as California. By that, I mean that they have a foothold there. They've convinced young idiots that they need to be different and that they need to fight over it with us and that they need to attack. Yesterday, because Zoe Zephyr, the man who paints his face like a woman and is elected in their assembly, was told you can't speak until you apologize for the outrageous crap you said, which was against decorum in Montana as a state, even though they have fruitcake centers and enough to get elected, right? The state is definitely, not. Well, it's got a lot of traditional, hard-working country folk. But they also have a shit pile of California transplants there. So here we are, looking at Montana. They don't like that Zoe Zephyr was told you can't talk until you apologize. Just like a good parent tells its child, no, you don't get any cookies until you've been good for a day. You can't just break the rules and then have all of your toys. You don't get to go out and play. You have to sit at the table and, write sentences. Whatever the punishment. There used to be a punishment for fucking up. These liberals do not accept that. They see that as an excuse to fight. Everything is about fighting. And the more we tell them no, like petulant children, in other words, spoiled fucking brats, they want to fight. And this goes back. This goes back to my childhood, folks. And I want you to listen very carefully. I was in 7th grade, and I went to San Francisco on a class field trip for honor roll. That's right, I was an honor roll student. I don't even know if they call it honor roll anymore. And this was way back in 1983. 1983. And we were at the Embarcadero, I think the subway station, BART station. And there were some fruitcakes. And being from the country, over in the Sierra Nevada foothills, we didn't see fruitcakes. So some of the students were interested in taking pictures of everything, including the fruitcakes. And the fruitcakes looked at us and said, if you take a picture of us, we'll kill you and throw you on the tracks. 1983, folks. I was threatened, and my friends, by a group of fruitcakes. And I realized right then and there that these people are violent. They're full of hate. And they think that if they're in a position to hurt others, that it's just fine for taking a picture of them. Now, I tried getting a friend's camera because, well, I'm a bit feisty that way. I was like, you're gonna do that? You're gonna try that move? I bet those fruitcakes, the 3 of them that I saw, I bet they're living a life of shititude right now. They're probably one of the homeless that's crapping on the street right now. But yeah, way back then, folks. Fast forward, I don't know, 30 years. That's about right. And Ben Shapiro is in a panel with a discussion with one of these fruitcakes. A guy, obviously a guy who's pied up in the face with makeup, with a deep husky voice, pretending to be a girl, doesn't like that he's being bested in a debate with Ben Shapiro. And Ben Shapiro's a very smart, witty little shit. I get it. Right? He's going to win. He is very good at debate. And rather than admit defeat or shut the fuck up, the fruitcake threatened to physically assault and harm him. And I thought, wow, look at that. They're not full of love and kindness, and they're not open-minded. They're very closed-minded and full of hatred and anger, and they want to fight. They want violence. They like violence. They've been convinced that they need to become violent. Folks, we didn't have that shooter. We didn't have that shooter in Nashville kill those children, and then all of a sudden that week, the rest of the trannies go out and buy guns and start posing for pictures and threatening people. They've been doing it all along. While the mainstream media and big corporate America have portrayed them as sensitive and kind and fun. They're not. They're not those things. Some might be, but by and large, look at what we're seeing. Mass violence, mass threats, mass reactions to them being criticized. They want to fight. What a perfect tool is my conclusion. What a perfect tool for them, the they live types. The old, crotchety, rich, white dudes who want to rule the world from the World Economic Forum headquarters in Davos, Switzerland. And of course, wherever else they own vast estates and chateaus. Yeah, folks, they're a perfect fighting tool because they're not really needed. The fruitcakes, no. They're disposable idiots who want to fight. And so they're causing division and hatred and anger. It's what they do. It's all they do. It's all they're good for. And so they're being used. And this is a card that's being played. And this card is played every time this game gets to here. The Nazis did it. The Soviets did it. Chairman Mao did it. They use young, idiotic radicals to create disturbance so the government can assume more power. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. God bless America. Semper Fi.